He is the Green Goliath, the walking apocalypse, a creature of pure, untamed rage, capable of shattering worlds with a single clap. For decades, we have defined the Incredible Hulk by his strength. We've seen him battle gods, monsters, and entire armies. We watched him survive the unimaginable. But what if his strength was never his true foundation? What if the unbreakable armor we saw was nothing more than a desperate facade? The greatest battles are not fought on a city street. They are fought in the silent, fractured chambers of the mind. Today, we delve into the core of Marvel's darkest lore. We are not here to talk about a stronger punch or a bigger explosion. We are here to uncover the one dark secret that didn't just hurt the Hulk. It shattered the very soul of Bruce Banner and broke the strongest Avenger forever. This is the tragedy of a man who spent his life running from the monster, only to discover the monster was never the threat. The monster was merely the witness to a truth too dark to bear. To understand the secret, we must first understand the vault that holds it, the mind of Dr. Robert Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is not a singular entity. He is a crowded, terrified landscape of dissociated identities, a fact that predates the Gamma Bomb by decades. His origin story is always told as the day he absorbed the gamma rays, but the real origin of the Hulk lies in the basement of a quiet suburban home long before the desert blast. His father, Brian Banner, was not merely an abusive scientist. He was a paranoid alcoholic who believed Bruce, due to his own exposure to radiation, was a monster, a ticking time bomb of genetic aberration. The verbal, physical, and emotional cruelty Brian inflicted upon Bruce's mother, Rebecca Banner, and Bruce himself carved deep fissures into the young boy's psyche. The young Bruce, unable to cope with the trauma, began to splinter. His mind created safeguards, protectors, the multiple personalities that would eventually manifest as the various incarnations of the Hulk. There was the savage Hulk, the raging childlike id, the powerful yet cunning Joe Fixit, who learned to survive in the darkness of the Las Vegas Strip, and the smart, integrated Professor Hulk, an attempt at sanity. Each one of them was a defense mechanism, each one a living witness to a specific, buried pain. But one moment, one single horrific act became the linchpin for all this trauma. A moment so devastating, so self-incriminating, that the only way for the boy to survive was to repress it entirely. The Gamma Bomb didn't create the Hulk. It simply unlocked the door to the mental prison Bruce had built, allowing the long-caged personalities to manifest physically. Now let's talk about the secret they were collectively guarding. The secret centers on the pivotal moment that defined Bruce Banner's life, the death of his mother, Rebecca Banner. For years, the official story, the one Bruce told himself, was that his father, Brian, went insane, murdered Rebecca, and then was stopped by a grief-stricken Bruce. A clean, tragic narrative. A story where Bruce was the victim and the survivor. But the comic book run, particularly the seminal work of Immortal Hulk, peeled back this protective layer of lies, revealing a truth so horrifying Bruce Banner had exiled it to the deepest, darkest corners of his mind, a place called the Below Place, the realm of the deepest personalities. The true secret is this. Bruce Banner played an active, unconscious role in the murder of his mother, Rebecca Banner. It happened during one of Brian's violent outbursts. Brian had cornered Rebecca in the car. As a frightened young Bruce tried to intervene, Brian was in the middle of a brutal attack.
Witness to Bruce's
Here's where the
secret.
narrative of self-deception collapses. In a moment of pure, blinding fear and reflexive self-protection, Bruce lashed out. He hit his father, a relatively harmless act for a child, but it was enough to distract Brian. This distraction, however small, gave Brian the fatal opportunity. In the ensuing chaotic struggle, Brian violently slammed Rebecca's head against the wall or the car. The young Bruce Banner did not kill his mother, but his brain, corrupted by trauma, told him a lie far worse, that his attempt to help was the very action that resulted in her demise, that he was complicit, that his intervention caused the event. The sheer unbearable weight of this realization, that his love for his mother and his reflexive self-defense directly contributed to her demise, was too much for Bruce Banner, the human, to process. So, the defense mechanism kicked in. His mind fragmented. The child, the trauma victim, was protected by the Hulk, a being who could be blamed for the rage, the violence, the potential to harm. But the core memory, the self-blame, was stored away.
Survival.
The gamma bomb
Self-preservation.
simply amplified
Those are the
the
words you live
personalities.
by now.
It gave physical form to the internal defense system. And when that defense system was finally broken down years later, forcing Bruce to confront the below place, he was met not just with the angry ghost of his father, but with the unbearable truth of his own actions. This is why the Hulk is the way he is. He is not a monster born of science. He is a living guilt complex born of trauma and a secret. The moment Bruce Banner was forced to accept this secret, that his love and fear led to Rebecca's demise, the entire mental structure that held the Hulk together collapsed. This realization wasn't a physical battle. It was a psychological detonation that broke Banner's concept of self. The truth created a permanent schism in the psyche. This secret explains the endless shifting incarnations of the Hulk. Savage Hulk, the eternal child, constantly running from the basement memory. He is pure, unthinking rage, because rage is simpler than guilt. Joe Fixit, the Gray Hulk, the manipulative, amoral survivor. He is the personification of Bruce's need to control his environment and look out only for himself. A self-preservation response to the trauma. Maestro, the brutal genius dictator. This version represents the fear that if Bruce ever had total control over the Hulk's power and his own intelligence, he would inevitably become as tyrannical and destructive as his father Brian. The darkest revelation of the immortal Hulk run is that the Hulk is deathless. He always returns because his existence is tied to the collective trauma of humanity and the below place. But more importantly, he is the eternal witness to Bruce's secret. The secret didn't just break Bruce. It broke the very fabric of his personalities. Each subsequent Hulk incarnation is merely a new, desperate attempt by Bruce's mind to process or ignore this fundamental, terrifying truth. I was the cause of her death.
This is why heroes like Iron Man or Thor can often recover from loss and failure, but the Hulk is perpetually broken. They suffer external wounds. Bruce Banner suffers an internal moral wound that is self-inflicted, or at least perceived to be so. And a mind cannot heal from a wound it believes it deserved. If this exploration of deep comic book tragedy has opened your eyes to the darker side of Marvel lore, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We publish deep dives into the secrets and backstories of your favorite heroes and villains every single week. Your support helps us keep the lore explained. Now,
let's finish the story of the broken giant. In the end, the Incredible Hulk isn't defeated by a bigger villain or a stronger punch. He is defeated by the truth. The most powerful being on Earth is permanently fractured, not because of a monster, but because of a memory. A secret kept by a terrified boy who simply wanted to save his mother. The story of the Hulk is the ultimate tragedy. The monster was not the green rage. The monster was the secret that lived inside the gentle scientist. He became a giant to protect a child who felt he was guilty of the unforgivable. But what about you? What if Bruce Banner could finally merge all his personalities into one truly stable being? What would that Hulk be called? And could he truly be worthy? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Bruce Banner is truly responsible for his mother's death, or was it entirely his father, Brian? I'll be reading and responding to your thoughts on this tragic lore.